प्रतिबोधिता भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथिता पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ततानि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी.
Today being Shankara Jayanti, we will just say one. I will just say that one Shankara sloka. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Padam Shankaram Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Vande Bhagavanta Punam Punah Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Yeah.
My pranams to you, Swamiji, for Shankara Jayanti. My pranams to you for this Shankara Jayanti.
You sent me something?
No. I'm giving my pranams
okay.
to you for this Shankara
Welcome. Yeah, all of us are indebted to the whole sampradaya for getting all these teachings. Yeah, very true.
Actually, we had gone to Gurukulam in Abhirampuram. Nirur Swamigal has come here, and when I went there at 3 o'clock, Nirur Swamigal had come, and he has gifted one Meenakshi Amman at the Gurukulam. Kethu Subramanya Shastrigals, that Gurukulam in Abhirampuram, and they have kept it on one kili today, separately. And, very grand celebration for Nirur Swamigal was happening today. So we went there. I was lucky to do namaskarams to him and came back.
Very nice. Yeah.
So a lot of activities are happening. We are having some Bhagavatam 10th Dashakam session right now at 4 o'clock there. So
yes, we can read or we'll wait for her. She'll come back.
We can read now. I'll start. Further, Krishna says, Tatra tam buddhi samyogam labhate paurvadehikam yatate chado tado bhuyaha samsiddho gurunandana. Tatra, there, paurvadehikam, which existed in his previous body, tam, that, buddhi samyogam, connection through the intellect, labhate, gains, Kurunandana, O joy of the Kuru family, Arjuna, Cha, and Tataha Bhuyaha. Further than that, gained previously, some Siddhav, for success in yoga, Etate, strives. There he gains a connection through the intellect with that which existed in his previous body and strives for further success in yoga. Then that gained previously, Arjuna, the joy of the Kuru family. Tatra refers to either of the two families referred to in the previous two verses, the cultured Dharmika family of the wealthy man committed to Dharma or the family of yogis. There the person picks up the thread of what existed in his previous life when he was a sannyasi. Previously, the person enjoyed a particular body, and in that body he began a life of yoga, a pursuit of knowledge, which he did not gain before he passed away. Now, in the present body, his buddhi connects itself to what existed before, tam buddhi samyogam labhate Dehikam. What kind of a connection is this? Is it something like spaceships docking? No. The connection with what existed before means that the person picks up the thread from where he left behind in a previous birth and continues to gain greater success. Then what happens? The person again becomes a sannyasi, eti, and because of the previous samskaras, makes an even greater effort to gain more than he gained before. Tataha bhuya. Why? For success in yoga, some siddha to gain the knowledge that is moksha. Swamiji, can you just explain a little on this?
Yeah, in the sense, what he has told in the previous sloka, that, see, what was Durlabhataram, he has mentioned, no, in the previous sense, the previous verse, he has mentioned, Etadi Durlabhataram Loke Janma Yad Idrisham. Sense, the person has started the journey of understanding and living a life of yoga, trying to understand the higher truth of life and all that. But for some reason, he couldn't complete that. He had started the journey, he lived a proper life and all, dharmic life and all, and he started studying, but he couldn't complete it. So that will not go waste. Arjuna's doubt was whether that will go waste. Neither he had any great success in Laukika life, nor he was able to complete this understanding in this in that previous life. So what will happen to them? He says, like even every other thing, like Pava, Punya and all that, even the learning of the previous Janma will be carried forward. But this time it will not be Durlabhataram, it will be easy because he already has the background, he has already started the journey. So he will be born in because of the samskara of the grace of the Guru or whomsoever he studied with and the Lord. He will be born in a family which is conducive for the study and carry on with the study. Like he will be born and he will be growing up. After some years, like after going through some study, some normal life, he will get that connection. The connection will be there. Like some doubt will come. Something will have this thing that will make him get connected to the Shastra study again. And he will not have to start all over again because he already has the samskara. So he will be able to be disciplined and he will be able to understand better. Maybe this is where, no? That the pramanam and pramana vichara, there are two things. Vichara in the sense, people who like the whole thing, everything gets started only in this life. In the sense, you never knew anything about all these things, never. And so you make a start. That the journey is a bit long. That is where it can get interrupted. Whereas a person who already has a background, we find that a lot of people, once you tell them something, they understand that particular subject matter because of some, that is where the samskara talks about. In the sense, is already your mind is having that inner infrastructure to have that. See, in this particular knowledge, the most important part is when something is told, you must not bring in your earlier learnings or earlier biases while the study is going on. You must be able to park it, must be able to suspend it and listen afresh with some shraddha to the Guru who talks about it. If your buddhi and the teaching and the Guru are aligned and you are able to listen to him and he is also able to tell you in accordance to what is your level of understanding and all that, and then it clicks. So that clicking is what is mentioned here. In the sense it will click better and faster in this birth compared to the earlier birth if he has missed the completion of the study in the last birth. That is precisely what he is trying to say in the whole thing. There's a continuity. There is no question of losing out. Even if you miss it, once this journey is started, like every other samskara, if you have a good samskara, you will be born better and you will proceed further and all that. Only that when you get an opportunity, you should not lose. Like in the sense, okay, because of all the punya, you might be born better. But what will happen? You will be born with a silver spoon and all. You may fritter it away by developing some wrong association and all that. So the punya that you have earned, that will get lost. And so the grace also will become agitated and all may fall into bad ways. So you have to be alert, even whether you have punya or good samskara, you have to be alert. In this birth, when you are taking the human birth next time around also, you have to be alert that apramatta is important. You have to. The sense, what they say, samskara will take you only that far. That is where free will, purushakara is important. You have to bring in your free will. That is why you are born a human being. Not to live by your prarabdha and go away. That is for pasus. For at any point in time, wherever you are, whatever you are, whether dur samskara, good samskara, whether you are born in a poor family or even in a bad family with the parents not in good shape and all that, even then, if you are able to bring in your purushakara free will as a human being, you will be able to turn the tide. Whereas in this particular case, what he says, he already has got the support of the samskara. Because he has started the study last Janma itself, he has started this journey and he has got a good background now, even in the family conducive background. Now it is more easy for him to come to terms with the Shastra as early as possible. And because of the previous journey, he will be able to get connected faster and he will be able to make it this time. That is what he is trying to say. That is precisely what is the objective of this. Because it is told by Bhagavan, because nobody knows exactly. Yeah, another human being, even another Rishi cannot say what was there in your previous birth. But here, Vyasa takes care that Bhagavan only tells. He is vouchsafing that whatever effort you have made, it is not going to go waste in this journey. Once you have started the journey, you will not now, you will make it later. That assurance he is giving. So that the people get encouraged or motivated to turn to this understanding of the self and Atma Jnanam, Brahma Jnanam and all that. Don't does not lose time when you are only in human birth. This sort of a effort is possible. So we should make use of it to the best. That is why he has said that. And even then, it will not, even if you don't complete it will not be wasted. You will continue and make it next time. That's what he's trying to say. Yeah.
It will happen by itself.
No, that's why I was telling. It will never happen by itself. No serendipity is possible in this knowledge. Because, why? Because you are already Purnam. You have to only know. Your Atma is already there. Your Atma is, you are not going to create something. You are not going to invent something. You are not going to gain something. What is already there, you have to know. You have to choose to know. And the choosing to know, last Janma itself you have done. So that samskara also will be there. So here, there is every possibility that you will choose to know in this life as soon as you come in. That is why we find that some people are taking interest in 10 years, some people are taking 20 years, some are able to do it in 30 years because of the Purva Samskara. Maybe in this birth or in the earlier birth. In this birth, you might be born in a good family. The Mandal might have done. Somebody, the family would have been studying Vedanta. You will be going here and there. Some words must have gone in. So at the age of 20, 25, whenever he gets into some leisure time or some problem, he will be able to look at it. Oh, let us look at it. Tata used to tell something like that. Then quickly get connected. So samskara is important. Plus your own effort also is important. Wherever it is, whenever it is. It's not no serendipity. Apna aap nahi hota hai. This particular thing doesn't happen because in this particular knowledge you are not gaining newly anything. You are already Purnam. That is your reality. All of us, all Jantus, the reality is already there. Only you have to know. You don't have to do anything. You have to know. For that, you have to choose to know. Unless you choose to know, you let me know what it is, what self is all about. Otherwise, people think I have to know chemistry, I have to know engineering, I have to know mathematics, I have to know business, I have to live my life, earn, etc., etc. That is where people generally 99.99% of the population goes for this. Because that is how the society is. So, whereas in this particular case, knowing self itself, what is the big deal? Knowing self, what am I going to gain by knowing self? That is the major put off by most people. But in this particular case, the samskara will be there. Because there is already previous learning is there and it tell you, no, there is something, that is something big for me to know this, to make this life complete. In the sense, by knowing this, I am complete. Because I am already complete, I just have to know this. That sort of a curiosity, the inquisitiveness, the what you call, I would say it's grace. Altogether, it is grace for you to ask that question. And because once that question is asked, and once you are in the right family, right upbringing, and the right environment, a guru is there, guru will be available, Ishwara's grace is there. When you will ask the question, it is almost like it is done. It's not a big deal at all. Once you come to this, you have to ask the question and you have to take that interest to know that in this, once I know my reality is Purnam, everything else falls in place. This is the jigsaw puzzle, the last piece in the jigsaw puzzle. Once this is done, everything else falls in place. Nothing has to be given out. Everything else is validated and everything else falls in place. And you will never be buffeted by plus or minus. Yeah, correct. Because everything is happening in my in the awareful being, whatever is happening in dharma, dharma, everything is has its own life cycle. Everyone, to the extent they understand, they will be following dharma. Otherwise, they will not follow dharma. If they don't follow dharma, help them. Because anyway, you have nothing to gain, nothing to lose. You are Purnam. Help them, accept them, understand them, help them, and keep your Purnatvam and Santushta, your alignment between thought, word, and deed, all those things going. So your life will not be disturbed. At the same time, you can be an inspiration to people around. So that makes their life complete. Their effort to come to this journey will also help. So that's all. That is what is told in the Shastra, and it is very logical. Even though the Shruti says that, it is logically supported also. You can see that once you understand this, you can see that nothing is amiss in the whatever is happening in the society. You will feel, yeah, everything is in its place, plus or minus. Minus can be plus, plus can become minus, because it is all unreal, changing all the time. It is changing. What is good today may be not so good tomorrow, because it is changing all the time. And it's all following a certain order. Or disorder also is part of the order. So we will not get buffeted because we know. Only thing is that when I get so much associated with that, this is my life. If anything disorder comes, I am affected, then you can't look at the disorder objectively. Whereas I am Purnam, disorder and order is part of my life like everyone else's life. Then you will be more objective. Once objectivity sets in, then you will be able to act appropriately in any given situation. Then automatically things will fall in place for you also, for people around also. So logically also, once the Shruti Anukula Tarka falls very much in tune with the reality, everything gets validated. That is why this knowledge also is equally important, because this only completes the jigsaw puzzle called human life. Otherwise, it will be a puzzle only all the time. So
Swamiji, this applies to even all fields of life, like Sangeeta Jnanam, that mathematician Ramanujan, at a very young age, he could solve many problems. All that also is applicable, no?
Yeah, in the sense, that's true. What you say, the samskara part of it is applicable to all. Anything, any learning will not go waste. That is why we are, it all validate that there is a Purva Janma, there is a next Janma, the continuity of the, see, there is one thing. There is a school of thought which talks about, all religion talks about, they have Vitirikta Atma. In the sense, what do you call, not Abrahamic religions. Our religion, like which is knowledge-based religions, like whatever Saiva, Vaishnava, all Hindu religions, we always accept that they have Vitirikta Atma, meaning a soul survives the body. That is why they start them and other things. So it takes the birth. When it goes away with all these samskara, good and bad, punya, papa, learnings. With all that, a body goes away and gets connected to the next birth. Like that. So the very fact that there are child prodigies, there are people coming out in very excellent in certain fields very early in life, that itself proves that there is a continuity. It doesn't happen just like that. There is a continuity of life. So the continuity of life, so if continuity of life is what you are looking for, you are anyway going to continue. That is why I am saying Naraha. You are never not there. You are going to continue. So what is the problem? You are never going to continue. So why to learn anything? Just live like that. But you must be prepared for you to live. If you learn something now, it will be available in the next birth. If you don't learn, it will not be available. You will have to suffer there. But in spite of all the learning, even Einstein, it is told at the end of the career, this thing, he went to America, Princeton University or something. And there he recommended some people for PhD and the university didn't approve. So he was very sad. A person like Einstein, it can happen. Why? Why I am telling this is, any prowess in any field other than understanding that your reality is Purnam here and now will always leave you with some dukkam, which anyway you'll have to sort it out next time around.
Yes.
Whereas in this understanding that you are Purnam, Desa Kala Vastu Aparichanna, I am not bound by time, I am not bound by space, I am the being and one with Ishvara, because Ishvara Swarupa also same, then this chakkar stops. Because thereafter there is no body for you to take the samskara. Because there is no samskara, because the whole thing is resolved into the being, no thing. You are just the being. Everything else you have dropped off. Once you are dropped off, Yamadharmaraja has no job. Because there is no samskara to be associated to another body, because you understood that you are no thing. And you are the Swarupa. Swarupa Vishnu also is the same as you. That is why symbolically when Markandeya embraced Shiva, when Yamadharmaraja tried to take him away, he got burnt. Yamadharmaraja got burnt. The idea is, a person who is one with Ishvara cannot be disturbed. He will not have another birth. That is symbolic representation. Because logically also, a person once has understood that is Purnam, the being, he has already disidentified himself from all the body, mind, sense complex and their pluses and minus learnings, whether it is science or economics or money or whatever, all those things are belonging to the costume. The costume has been shed. He is now Purnam being. So that samskara thereafter is of no use to him.
Yes.
And he cannot take another birth. That is how the Purnatvam, the completeness of this knowledge happens like that. If that completeness has not happened, still you have that identification with your body, mind, and then ask, what will happen to me next Janma? Very fact you are asking the question means what? That means still you are associated yourself with your body and mind.
Atma.
You have got that affinity. That means you will definitely come. So that is why if somebody goes and asks, can I take sannyasa? The Guru will never say take. Because the very fact that you have a doubt, that means your identification is still there. You are not it. You have to be already a sannyasi to be given sannyasa.
Yeah, please.
Here, by understanding, must be clear. The clarity should be there. I am one with Ishvara, Ishvaroham. Purnatvam is my reality. Everything else is coming and going like even a costume. Those things, clarity should be there. That clarity, what he has started, since that clarity something is missing, that is why he has been born again, that he will complete it in this Janma. That is what Bhagavan is saying. Yeah.
Krishna uses Arjuna's words again here. Arjuna had asked, Aprapya yoga samsiddhim kam gatim Krishna gacchati.
Yeah, aprapya yoga samsiddhim kam gatim Krishna gacchati. That's what he had asked. He said, suppose he has not completed the yoga samsiddhim, what will happen to him? What will be his lot? That is what he has asked. Now Krishna is answering. Yeah.
Krishna, having not gained success in yoga, what end does the person reach? Answering Arjuna's question, Krishna talks about the same samsiddhi, success in yoga, which is in the form of self-knowledge. For gaining that samsiddhi, the person can make further effort because he has the buddhi samyoga. the connection with the samskaras he had before. The connection with the past is by means of the intellect. This is why whenever there is a man studying the Shastras, generally at least one of his children will show an interest at a very young age. This child will go and sit with the father and will not be interested in things that children are usually interested in. Why? Because there is a connection with the previous tendencies, Purva Samskaras, through the intellect. Arjuna was addressed as Kuru Nandana here. Kuru being the name of the family into which Arjuna was born. Kuru Nandana means the joy of the Kuru family. Krishna perhaps uses this name here to remind Arjuna of the advantages of his present birth.
Yeah, this is Swamiji's interpretation. He says that the connection is established by this word. Yeah.
Further, Krishna says, Purvabhya Sena Tenaiva.
Purva Abhyasena. Yeah.
Purva Abhyasena Tenaiva. Kriyate Hyavashobi Saha.
Kriyate hi avasopi saha. Avasopi saha. Yeah.
Avashobi Saha. Jigyaswarabi Yogasya Sabda
Brahma ativartate. Sabda Brahma ativartate. Yeah.
Sabda Brahmadi Vartate. Tena Purva Abhyasena. By this previous practice, Eva alone, Saha, he, Kriyate is led, Avasaha, he, necessarily,
Yeah.
Api, even, Yogasya of yoga, Jigyasa,
Jignasuhu. Yeah.
As one who is desirous of the knowledge, Shabda, Brahma, the Veda, Ativartate, goes beyond. By this previous practice alone, he is necessarily led to yoga. Even as the one who is desirous of the knowledge of yoga, he goes beyond the Veda, Karmakanda of the Veda. Here, Krishna intends to remove any doubt about whether the person who gained the knowledge once he began the pursuit. Just suppose he does not gain the knowledge. What will happen to him? Is a question dealt with here. Suppose he gets caught up in Sesame Street, a popular TV serial in the United States. What then? After all, there is no end to the streets in life that one can get lost on. Suppose the person gets lost in this way, then how do the yoga samskaras stand a chance?
This is precisely what we were asking. Whether he will automatically get it. Now he is explaining that. You are automatic, because even when you get with the good, come with a good yoga samskara, still you have to make the effort. That he is explaining now. Yeah.
These hypothetical situations have no chance of occurring. Krishna says here, even if the person is not interested in this yoga, even if he wants to avoid it, it will keep popping up for him because the samskara is there. No matter how hard he tries to avoid it, he will be taken away by it helplessly. Avasaha api kriyate. Why? Because of his previous practice itself, by the pursuit of yoga that he had undertaken before, tena purva abhyasena eva. He need not do anything now to become a seeker. The old pursuit is enough to carry him along. The word avasa here implies that he has no control over the matter. He is absorbed by the yoga, taken away by it, pulled into it by the previous practice, even if he is not interested.
See, that's what you were asking. He's saying that even though he may not have the inclination compared to because of the company he keeps, but because of the samskara, you will be drawn to ask that question. At some point in time, when you get connected, he will come ask the question and continue the journey. That's what he says. Yeah.
However, he is interested in it. In fact, he is interested in nothing else. He wants to know what it is all about.
He will ask the question. He will ask the question. He wants to know what it is all about. Yeah.
Even if he is not that interested, if he is only mildly curious, this yoga will keep popping up into his head and he will want to know what self-knowledge is, what all the talk about enlightenment means, and so on. Krishna says here that even a simple curious desire is enough for him to be above the Veda. To transcend the Veda, that is the karma portion of the Veda, Sabda Brahma Ativartate. It will cause him to give up all the karmas again, become a sannyasi.
Sabda Brahma Ativartate.
It will cause him to give up all karmas again, because a sannyasi become a sannyasi and continue his pursuit of knowledge. Nothing will interest him except the subject matter known as Vedanta. Nothing else, none of the means and ends discussed in the Veda will interest him at all. In other words, in no time, this person will discover Vairagya, dispassion, because it is natural for him. There is no going back once.
Let me read. There's no going back once self-inquiry has begun. Krishna answers Arjuna's question by telling that once one has started inquiry into the self, there is no going back. Nor is there a bad end of any kind. There is only a continuous pursuit until what is to be gained, self-knowledge is gained. Until then, the pursuit is never stopped, it's never affected in any way. This was an assurance. Krishna's words are the pramana here. Although there is some supporting logic, the words alone are the pramana. There being no other way of proving them to be right.
Yeah, that is why the pramana is very important. The Shabda Pramanam, no? Shruti Pramanam, people always, unless you have that Shraddha in the Pramana's words, that it will happen means yes, it will happen. Now, it is up to me to make it. That sort of a Shraddha must have. The benefit of doubt should go to the Guru and to the teaching. And then you get aligned to it, then you will make it. If that doubt itself is there, Samshayam is, later Bhagavan himself will tell, Samshaya is the biggest bottleneck. If you don't have that Shraddha, even your mind will not be there fully into it. So you will not be able to understand the intricacies of the teaching. So the Guru's grace, the vision has to be transferred to your head only when the Shraddha is total. That is why the teaching is always along with the teacher. The teaching and the teacher together is called pramana. It is not only, that is why this cannot be done through only book and all that. So it is always Shastra Acharya Upadesha. Wherever Shankara tells, he will always talk about Shastra Acharya Upadesha. Shastra Acharya Upadesha. He will never dealing Shastra and Acharya. And there are Upanishads also says, I think I have told also, Acharyavan Purushaha Veda. Says, once you have an Acharya, you will get it. There is no question of you are not getting it. And Shraddhavan Labate Jnanam. That also is there, the Shruti itself. Once you have the Shraddha, you will get it. So those are all very important as part of the Pramana. In this particular case, it is not a book knowledge. It is the teacher and the teaching come together. Because the teaching and the words that are used, the whole thing, the books, everything, are all from the relative reality of Pancha Pramana. Using those words, taking out the meaning, the relative meaning, and giving that absolute meaning of when we say awareful being, we may think that awareful being means what? Awareful means Buddhi should be aware, and I am. That's all what it is there. For every knowledge, you need to be an awareful being. What is the big deal? Then they say awareful being means it is Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinnam. When you say Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinnam, timeless, spaceless, vastuless, that is, it is not a thing, but being. The being which is being talked about is not the question of having your person, the person who is awareful. That is a brainy person. That person is not being talked about because the person is what? He is Desakala Vastu Parichinnam. He has got a body, he has got a mind, he has got limitations, all those things. That Desakala Vastu Parichinnam person is not being talked about as a being here. The being here is Desa kala vastu aparichinnam. So the relative meaning of the word, the limited meaning of the word being is removed. And that awarefulness is not what is there in the brain. It is not the brain's awarefulness. It is by the awareful being, the awareness in which the brain is functioning. The known and the not known is the aware of, the Sakshi. So that person is being talked about. So that awareful being, when the teacher explains that awareful being means it is not a relative person, that has to be understood. And that has to be understood only through the Guru and Pramana. And that is precisely why we are talking about an Acharya who has gone through that, who understands, who is able to visualize, who has got it in his head, the vision that, yes, awareful being means what? What I am trying to transfer it to the head of the student. So I will ensure that whatever the relative meaning of these words are removed. So the book will give the relative words. You have to use the relative words only. We cannot use unknown words. You have to use known words, but remove the relative meaning and bring the absolute sense and transfer it to the student. That is why the teacher and the teaching go together in this particular case. That is the way Shabda Pramanam, when it says the Shruti words and the words of the Sanskrit words or English words, whatever you call it, along with coming from the teacher who removes the relative meaning and gives that one, that non-relative and what you call, that is what is beyond relative, what is the absolute meaning? Absolute meaning, your absolute Sarupa. Your Sarupa, you must be able to convey it to you. That you must be able to get it in your head that this is what avareful being means. This is what I am, my Atma means. That I am Atma, Brahma, when I am telling, this is what I mean. Brahma Swarupam and my Swarupam are one and the same. The being, because it is a being. If it is anything else, Brahma Swarupam cannot be my Swarupam. Because it is a no-thing being and it is timeless, spaceless, naturally this and that can be one. That is why the Taittiriya beautifully, when Bhagavan talks about that, generally all of you might have heard this Taittiriya Parayanam. The first sloka itself, it will say, Brahmavit apnod param. There he quotes, Brahmavit apnod param. One who knows, he is also Brahman. One who knows Brahman is also Brahman. That's how it starts. Then immediately the Shruti itself quotes another Shruti from the Rigveda and tells, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihidam Guhayam Paramebhyo Manna Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipasthiteti. Like that, that explains the whole, actually the whole Taittiriya Upanishad, it explains how you are Brahman, how you are Atma and is Brahman. Then immediately what it talks, it says, having the Shastra and Acharya has had, now removed all your doubts about these relative meanings of the words and given you the for complete meaning. And then Yasmat, Etasmat, what do you call? Then it say Brahmana Vyupastiteti Tasmat Etasmat Atmanaha. In the sense, the whole para is talking about Brahman. Then immediately he say Tasmat Brahmanaha Etasmat Atmanaha. Shruti itself equates straight away that Brahman I have explained to you in the last para through the Rik mantra is nothing but Atmanaha. Tasmat Atmanaha. Immediately, Tasmat Etas Atmanaha Akasha Sambhudaha. From me, Akasha is born. That is how it starts. You will once, unless you understand the first para where the Rik is explained by the Guru, and once that vision is clear, you will not be surprised when he says Tasmat Etasmat Atmanaha Akasha Sambhudaha. From me, Akasha is born. So then automatically everything flows beautifully. So all the doubts are removed by the Guru through the Upadesha, using the Shastra words and removing all the relative meaning. Because when we say Brahmana Vipaschiteti meaning clearly seeing. That is the meaning. Vipaschit means Paschit means clearly seeing. Vipaschit means clearly seeing. Okay. Vipaschiteti, okay, clearly seeing. So what? When he says clearly seeing, the Bhagavan will explain, the teacher will explain, Vipaschiteti meaning it is not clearly seeing, it is seeing by being Brahman. It is seeing by being Brahman. Because you understand from there that by being Brahman, that it is not an instrumental case. By, you are not knowing by. You are, even though the technical grammar is Ittam Bhute Titiya, by, Ittam Bhute meaning by being. By the instrumental case is by your own being Brahman. Because of that, you understand that Tasmat Brahmanaha, Tasmat Atmanaha. Ida adu. அப்படிங்கிறத teacher will explain. Why I am giving you that just an example. If you look at the whole Taittiriya, our book, where Swami, and even the audios, Swami would have taken a lot of time to explain. Beautifully, he will explain. And you will not miss it. That is what the whole thing is all about. Whole thing is, you have to understand that Gita also, whatever you have discussed in the second chapter, if you go through those talks and all that, it's all very clear. There is only one Sat. Nasate vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sataha. When you understand that verse clearly, you cannot have any doubt that other than the awareful being, there is no Sat. There is only one Sat. It can be called Satyam. It is only the awareful being. Everything else is only relatively Satyam. It will be Satyam today, tomorrow it will not be. Bhaditam Satyam. And Bhava also, all the time your being there is only possible only for the being. Everything else is changing. Only the being Desakala Vastu Aparichinnam, naturally it cannot be destroyed, it cannot be improved upon, it cannot be lost. And that is you. That is why when we are discussing right now, the being in all of us is one and the same. It is not undergoing any change, whether you get the Upadesha or not. The being is the same. And it has been always the same. That is why you are able to see your own mind. Your own mind, what is going on, plus, minus, dukkam, thing, and curiosity, not curiosity, interested in Shastra, or interested in going and playing golf. So all those things you know very well. You don't have to tell others, but you know. Why? Because the awareful being is there. You cannot. That is why they say, no, you can cheat the law, but you cannot cheat Bhagavan. Because Bhagavan is sitting inside. You know very well. The awareful being knows that what my mind's prevarications are. The being alert to this being is possible only for a human being. That is precisely what we are trying to look at, and once we get it, once we know that this is what it is all about, then you will not leave it. You will not leave this trail of thinking, understanding, and being with it. Whenever we get an opportunity, we will be with it. That is what we are trying to do. Yeah.
Swamiji, Brahman and Atman are the one and the same, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what our Taittiriya Parayanam starts like that. Tasmat etasmat atmanaha akasha sambhu. Tasmat, the whole para is talking about, the whole tatparyam of Taittiriya is, Anandavalli is, Brahma with apnodu param. One who knows Brahman is Brahman. Okay. But immediately after this first para, it says Tasmat etasmat atmanaha. Immediately it says, Anta Brahmanum inda Atmanum onnu. Tasmat Brahmanaha. Etasmat Atmanaha. In Sanskrit, they call Tasmat is the remote past and Etasmat is near past. In Anga irukra aalum, inga irukra aalum onnu. So the Shruti itself makes it clear. There is no distinction between Atma and Brahman. In terms of Swarupa. In terms of Swarupa. That's understanding. Swarupa is the thing that holds. And like between Ishvara and Jiva also. There is no Jiva Ishvara Veda in terms of Swarupa. Ishvara is Swabhava is Jagat. Jiva Swabhava is your body, mind, sense and complex and all your samskaras and plus, minus, etc. Whereas Swarupa is Atma and Brahma. That is why sometimes it's called Brahma Atma. Why Brahma and Atma are always put together in one thing, one same word, Brahmatma? Because there is no Atma other than Brahman, there is no Brahman other than Atma. That is why we call Brahmatma. So these are all basics. These are all clear in the sense we have discussed this before anyway. Naturally, these questions will keep coming and we will have to keep on redoing it. So that it settles nicely. That is the whole teaching is all about. Yeah.
Swamiji, but
Right,
this
Swami.
Brahma Vidatnoti Param concept, this detail, Brahma Vidatnoti Param, what you explained now, it was not this detailed. I have heard in during the second chapter, third chapter that you explained. I have one more doubt that see, you already explained that one, and then this Etasmat Tasmat Brahman. So there is one more part. Sarvesham Bhutanaham Apuryati, like that part will come. What is that one, Swamiji?
Where? Before second chapter or first chapter? Shikshavalli.
No. In Anandavalli, you already explained Brahma Vidatnoti Param. You explained Tasmat Etasmat Brahmanaha, that one. The only pending part in that, what we say is the Sarvesham Bhutanaha Prane Apuryati. We will repeat it like 5 times, right? So Sarvesham Bhutanam. That one. What does that mean in Sanskrit? What does that indicate?
Akasha Sambhudaha, that one, that part of it. See, thereafter what happens, once having said this, then Bhagavan, Taittiriya Upanishadkara explains how the whole Jagat comes into play. Srishti, it's a Srishti Prakarana. How the Srishti comes? He says, Tasmat etasmat atmanaha akasha sambhudaha akashat vayuhu vayor agnihi agniyor apaha adya prathivi prathiviyor voshadiyaha voshadibhyo annam annat purushaha. Again the same cycle.
So
Purusha
there,
means what to do?
Annam means is not food, is it? Annam is not
Annam
food.
is food. Annam is food. Annat purushaha. Annam, Annam only become the retas, the seed for your next birth. And Aitareya Upanishad says everyone has got 3 births. You are born, then your seed goes and sits in the womb of the wife, and you are born again. So 3 times you are born. All those things are, the Srishti Prakriya is very funny, right? But it's all told with the idea that you don't get too much hung up on this Srishti and all that. The Srishti Prakriya is to, make you lose interest in Srishti. So, because finally it's only Atma. See, once you say Atma, the awareful being, is the reality, and it is no thing, where is the question of Srishti, you tell me? Srishti is only a make-believe. Make-believe in the sense, it is Bhagavan's bluff. It is, he is able to see all these things, make us all, like it is available for Vyavahara, it is available for Samachara, it is available for Vyavahara, Prayojanam, as if there is a Prayojanam. We grow, we do this, we do that. The whole thing is in a flux continuously. It is said there is only one Sat, the being. Is one Sadeva Saumya Idam Agre Asita, another Upanishad, Andhya Upanishad says. What it says? The life which you see right now in front of you, rolled out, is the only life that is available. The next moment, you think that there is change. But the change is what? The previous life is gone, the next life comes. Because the same life. And it all depends on Sagala Jiva Rajigalu, what all manipulation they do, according to the next moment is born. And the next moment is born. The same, that is science what also says, no, conservation of energy and matter. There is nothing, there is no change at all. There is only one being, Sadeva Saumya, it is rolled out. Just my own Vibhuti, the Atma's Vibhuti is rolled out as Sadeva. And it keeps on changing moment to moment. And it looks like world is changing, you becoming rich, poor, all the continents moving, earthquake, whatnot. The whole thing is only a Maya Jalam. But the whole thing you can really appreciate only when you say that the awareful being is the reality from which the whole thing is rolled out, which I have told before also, that Anoro Naniya Mahato Mahiyan. The smaller the thing, the explosion is big. And when there is no thing explored, this is what you will get. The life in front of you. That is precisely that should become real for you. That understanding should become real for you. The whole Shastra is that in that only. That is what we are aiming at. In the sense, you must be aware and alert to this, and then everything is like you play your role. That's all. Play the script. Like you play the movie. Just play the script. Nimitta matram bhava savyasachi. That's what Krishna also tells Arjuna. Just play your script. Don't try to overdo. Because he was very clear and the whole vision is clear. Purva Para. Finally, what is he going to tell Krishna? Arjuna also is clear with him. And finally, he also knows Arjuna what he is going to do. The whole picture is clear in him. So there is no picture abhi baki hai, like our movies. The picture is full in Krishna's view. So in our view also, once we understand this, picture can be full. Then we can play the role without any hichkika. In the sense, you don't have to have any reticence. Ana okay, Ata okay, come on. And the confidence we will get once, because unless you know yourself, Purnam, where is the question of your knowing the world? It is illogical to the understanding that unless I know self, how can I know the world? Forget Ishvara. Even the world in front of you cannot know. Unless you know yourself. What you are, you must know, no. The reality of you, and fortunately, the reality of you is the reality of Jagat and reality of Ishvara. Because, why? Because the reality of you is Purnam. Why it is Purnam? Because it is no thing. And it is not bound by time, not bound by space. Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinna. So how can anything be no thing which is not bound by time and space? Who can do anything with it? You can cut it with the sword or what? Not possible. So obviously, as Bhagavan, that is why Swamiji always used to say that even before the Anandavadi starts, he quietly make a statement. I think I have told before. You are. Brahman is limitless. So you are limitless. Over.
Yes, you told us.
I have told that. So casually he will mention and then start the Anandavadi. Because his vision is no big deal once you understand. But the understanding in the sense it has to be beyond what you call cognitive. It should be from the heart. You must be able to own it up. Claim it as your reality. Then all these things fall in place. Yeah.
Swamiji,
we will go up to this before 45. We'll just read it out so that we'll be able to. Yeah.
Swamiji, one small side doubt. How the Vaishnavites accept the Brahma Vidapurti Param or the Taittiriya Upanishad itself?
No, Taittiriya Upanishad they will say, yeah, everything Brahman is all fine. But you are part of the Brahman, that's all. The only difference between you are part of Brahman. He will say that you are Amsha. You are Amsha of Brahman or Ishvara. So you will be still have your individual identity of worshipping Bhagavan. Which logically in our thing, there is clear when it says Brahmavit apnoti param, Brahmane, without any interpretation, a simple meaning of this sentence is one who knows Brahman is Brahman. That is, then why do you say you will be part of it? Because that is because of the psychological hang-up that you want to still be appreciating Ishvara, propitiating Ishvara. You want to have that Ishvara, what do you call? You Dasa, Dasi, Bhava. Like you want to be propitiating. The knowledge, this whole Upanishad, everything gives, is so elevating, and I want to be worshipping that Ishvara, which is being explained in this whole Upanishads and Vedas and all that. I don't want to, and there is a, there is a compelling psychology to keep worshipping, keep doing Abhisheka. Like even that last sentence in Gita, it talks about Sarva Dharman Parityagnya Mamekam Saranam Braja ahantva sarva papebhyah moksha isyami masuchaha. Mamekam sharanam vraja is what is written in the hand of the Vishnu in all Vishnu temples.
Yes.
Like that, Abhayahastam, they call, no, Abhayahastam. Somewhere in this hand or this hand, it will be written, Mamekam Sharanam Praja. So, what they say, Mamekam Sharanam Praja, there is an Ishvara there, and they have to do Sharanam. Whereas, what the real Mamekam Sharanam Praja means whole Bhagavan has explained, 18 chapters he has explained. He has told, Mattaha Anyaha Na, you are not other than me. Ajopi Sanna, Avyaya Atma Sanna, Bhutanam, Ishwaro Sanna. He has told us. In the 6th chapter, 4th chapter, 5th chapter itself, he has told. And now you again say, Mamekam Saranam Rajan, Bhagavan is sitting there, standing there, and you go and keep on. How long, just logically, you just think, how long an Ishvara can stand there doing Abhayahastam? He will be pained, I tell you, he will be a pain. Ishvara, he will get devotitis, Swamiji used to say. You will get a sprain in the hand. It is all done with a view till the time you understand, for you to have that Shraddha, that at least you will Saranam. Saranam means your body, mind, sense complex. You will surrender unto Tanu Manu Sab Kuch Tera Hai. Like that you will surrender. And so that you are, when you are with the Bhagavan, you are having that oneness of the at his feet. So that is all okay. Till the time you understand and one up the oneness between you and Bhagavan, you have to live a sane life. For that, all this propitiation, Anya, Ishvara, other than you, is kept. It's all, Ishvara has not done it. You have done it. You have got a visualization. When the Bhagavad Gita says, like Mamekam Charanam Raja and all that, you made a this thing Pratima and you give an Abhayahastam and you wrote that Mamekam Charanam Raja so that it is easy for you to propitiate. But you should not physicalize Ishvara beyond that point. It is not a physical thing. It cannot be a physical thing. Anything physical will go away. Even 1,000-year-old or 5,000-year-old also, even if you will say Swayambhu and all that, will get destroyed. That Ishvara. That is all, that is where it's a blind faith, it doesn't help. Ultimately, understanding. Understanding is what? Oneness. Because Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinnam, that in the sense it's neither a Vastu, because it is not boundless, it is timeless, spaceless. Once it is timeless and spaceless, it cannot be a thing. Anything must have a parameter. Desa and time, space and time. And when you are saying Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinnam, and so many places in Shastra it is told, and how can you give a urvam for that, you tell me? So that is ultimately, that is understanding the oneness. Oneness is called Advaitam, you said, and you cannot put a clause saying that Visishta Advaitam. What Visishta Advaitam? Visishta Advaitam means Dvaitam only. There cannot be, that is an oxymoron, I would say, Visishta Advaitam. In the same word, you are putting Advaitam and Visishta together. How it will work? It is something like, what do you call, negative understanding. Understanding is positive and you say negative understanding. What is negative?
Misunderstanding.
Oxymorons. They call it oxymorons. The word having the same compound, you have contradictory meanings. You are confusing people. Yeah, it is all okay to keep the people going because 99% of the people, they prefer to have a Ishvara Upasana and Karma, keep doing. Okay, by doing all that, Ishvara Upasana and doing Karma to Bhagavan, you will at least be living a sane life, dharmic life, you will not disturb others. That is okay for the society. But once you have lived that life, once you have got the Shanta Swabhavam because of the grace of the same Lord, then Bhagavan himself has told, come on, study. What are you? What is your reality? Find out. And he says, and he keeps on telling so many things to Traigunya Vishayo, Traigunya Vishayo Vedaha, Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. He has told. I don't know whether we have gone through that or we are yet to go through. Traigunya Vishayo Vedaha. Meaning what? Veda, the Purva Bhaga and all our life is Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. and the mix of all that is our life, normal life. You will be sleeping for tamaguna, rajasic during the day. Sometime you will study sattvic. So this is your day-to-day life. Sattva, rajas, tamas keep on going. Satraigunya vishayo vedaha. That's karma kanda talks about. But he tells Arjuna, Nistraigunya bhavarjana, rise above all these things. Don't keep on going with this. What is above all these three things? The only thing that is left out is your being. Everything else is covered by these three guna. So Nistray Gunyo Bhavarjana, Bhagavan says, what it means? Nistray Gunyo means you be me. So when so many places Bhagavan has told that you and I are one and the same. No, you are separate only. I will be doing only puja to you all the time. So even Bhagavan cannot help you. That is precisely what it is all about. Anyway, okay. I think we'll stop here.
Yeah.
Where are we?
Verse 45.
Verse 45. Verse 45.
We have to start there.
Swami,
Good. But we have completed before that. There is no going back.
Yeah,
One
we read
session.
it before.
We have completed that. Good. Okay.
We start from verse 45.
Verse
Actually,
45
Swami,
on
just
June
one
1st.
minute.
On June 1st. Okay. June 1st will be the next class.
Oh, okay.
Saturday. Yeah, I'm going to
Swamiji,
Anaikatti.
actually,
In the meantime, please try to upload some more audios and all that of our earlier classes. You can go through that. Maybe you can discuss amongst yourselves also if there is something nice to discuss, and so that you can.
Okay. We'll
Yeah.
try.
Two more are ready. I will upload.
पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते